Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another podcast with PEND Realty. Today's podcast is just off the hip. I got a message from one of my previous videos about what's the first thing you should do as a real estate agent. Like right when you get licensed, you're going to feel very lost. We talked about the expectations of becoming a real estate agent and the reality of what that is. If you haven't watched that, I highly recommend you go back and watch that video first. Then we talked a little bit about how to pick a broker, what's most important when you're talking to that broker. Got a lot of great comments on that video too. So now we're going to talk about what is the first thing you should do. And there's a lot of directions you're going to want to go. They're going to be pulling you in every direction possible, actually. Training should be probably one of the most important. But even over that, remember my rule of thumb is always like you wake up in the morning, and it's where do I find my next buyer? Where is my next buyer? That's what I'm interested in. So the first thing you should do as a new real estate agent is you should get out your cell phone and you should go through your phone and make a list of what I'm going to refer to as your sphere of influence. So you don't have any past clients because in the future you're going to hear me talk about PCSOI, which is past clients and sphere of influence. But because you don't have any past clients as of yet, sphere of influence. And really, you should be doing this if you're not licensed yet. Put this list together halfway through your class because you're going to want to get going on it before you ever get licensed. So pull out your cell phone, go through that entire phone, all your contacts, and figure out who out of my contacts are going to be considered a sphere of influence for your business. Think of this sphere of influence as like your VIP list, your very important person's list. Because in the beginning, this list is going to, honest to God, reflect your success in real estate out of the gate. So if you came to me as a brand new agent and we sat down and we put together your sphere of influence and you had 10 people on it, it's going to be really hard for you to get off the ground. But if you have 70, 80 people, which is a really big number, it's going to be a little bit easier, hopefully, for you to do that if you take the correct actions after creating the list. Now, on our team, we call it the top 100 list because the goal is to get to 100 people who are considered VIP people. That's it. There are some rules and guidelines around these people. So when you go through your contact list, I like them to be within about 40 miles of your office or your home, so about a 40-mile radius around you. And I'm going to say that the way that I explain it to people is if you saw this person in the grocery store, you would seek out to speak to them because we all have those people. Like we go in the grocery store, we see somebody and we're like, I'm going to go to the next aisle or I'm going to go way down to the milk because they're in the bread. Don't put those people on your list because the next step, a later video, I'll explain what we have to do with these people. And you're going to be contacting these people a lot. So don't put anybody on there that you don't want to deal with on a pretty regular basis. Once you've gone through your phone contacts and you've put this together, the way that I would recommend structuring this list is start out with just an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Doc spreadsheet. And you want to put you want to do it by house. So if it's a husband and wife, you want to put, the wife and then the husband and then the address, the neighborhood they lived in, and you want both of their phone numbers and addresses. And if you can get it, I'd like their birthdays. So again, first name, last name, phone number, email, birthday, first name, last name, phone number, email, birthday, address, neighborhood. That's really all you need in the beginning. We're going to get a lot more information as we go, but if we can start out that way, that'd be great. After you've gone through your phone list, I want you to switch over to social media now. So there's a couple of different really fun ways to get these people on your sphere of influence list. First is go through your friends list. I mean, if you have thousands of people, qualify who you don't have on your list yet that is within 40 miles, and you would talk to them in the grocery store. Now, I'm not saying go through every single person one by one, but another really cool trick is when you do get licensed, you should obviously blast that on social media. Like, hey, so happy I just got my real estate license. If you know anybody who wants to buy or sell real estate, let me know. And then anybody who likes that post, shares that post, interacts with that post, if they're within that 40 to 50 mile radius, you add them to your sphere of influence because they just raised their hand and they're like, hey, I support you. You literally said that you got your real estate license and I liked it, or I shared it, or I loved it, or whatever. Those people can go on your sphere of influence list as long as they're local. And so putting together that list, I feel like when agents are brand new, they never do that. They just say, oh, I'm going to talk to my friends, or I'm going to tell my friends. You need a spreadsheet of what from here on out we are going to refer to as your sphere of influence. These are your VIP people. In another video, I'm going to tell you what we do with our sphere of influence. But before we ever take action, you have to put the list together. So go ahead, pull out your contacts. Feel free to text people. Like, I know there's a lot of people in my phone that were really good friends, but I don't know their address. So ask for their address. Hey, I just got my real estate license. You're considered one of my really high VIP clients or VIP friends, and I want to make sure that I can send you things. So do you mind giving me your address? And if this is somebody who would stop and talk to you in the grocery store, they're probably going to be okay with that. So this is step number one. And you can do this while you are going through your real estate course. You don't have to wait to be licensed just to put together a sphere of influence list. It is going to be whether you do well in real estate. This is the list. Like, this is the thing. So take your time, do it well, do it on a spreadsheet, and then in a following video, we're going to talk about what you do with this information, which is also extremely important because a lot of people will put the list together, but then they don't do anything with it. So we'll go over all that. Please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't watched my previous videos, jump over there. I've got what to expect when you become a real estate agent, or the expectations of a real estate agent, and then how to pick a broker, which I think is extremely important. And what I mentioned in those videos is really important in my opinion. So go ahead and subscribe, watch those. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Love to spark up a conversation. And if you have any questions you want me to make a video on, throw it down below and I will make a video on it. Y'all have a wonderful day.